Welcome to the interview series by The Morning Money. This is a financial tabloid circumventing Sri Lankan finance and economics. Today, we have with us an individual who has immensely contributed to Sri Lanka through his own entrepreneurial efforts over the past 30 years. His efforts have gone on to become a household name in Sri Lanka, Laugfs. Good morning, Mr. Wegapitiya, the founding executive chairman of Laugfs. My first question for you today is, ever since the energy shortage at the height of the economic crisis, has the supply of gas and fuel in terms of mechanism and volumes changed?
Well, last almost a few years, as a result of various macroeconomic issues, the per capita energy consumption was drastically reduced compared to year-on-year growth of last 10 years. It happened purely when the inflation went up and we had a economy was not, GDP was not growing. So these macroeconomic indices directly affected the consumption, energy consumption, and on top of that we had the economic meltdown. So therefore we had a forex shortage for us to import required energy. Sri Lanka is a net import of most of the energy, excluding the renewable energy that we produce. So the year-on-year energy consumption was declined in the past. During that difficult times, of course, we had to curtail imports. People had to move to alternative energy resources. All that were adversely impacted to the growth of the energy consumption. But when compared to most of other Asian countries, per capita LPG consumption is still relatively low in Sri Lanka. So we expect that growth momentum will now gain again as a result of these new macroeconomic positive developments. That's what's going to happen.
And Dr. Wegapitiya, since you mentioned about the import sector, I would also like to ask a follow-up question regarding the export side of things. As Sri Lanka is pushed towards being export-oriented in the next 5 years, based on the policies, does Laugfs have higher plans for expansion in the medium term?
Well, again, when you look at the Sri Lankan export basket, we are still predominantly based on traditional export products, including apparel, rubber products, tea, coconut-related product, and those are very conventional, traditional exports. Of course, now if Sri Lankan export earnings to be increased, we need to add technology-driven products. But answering to your question, what Laugfs has, because we are one of the largest industrial tire exporters to the world, we are exporting to almost 50 odd countries, having our own establishments in the US and Europe. Well, we are now expanding our production and re-export drive. But unfortunately, recent Trump administration tariff issue gave us some uncertainty, especially imposing new tariffs on Sri Lankan products. But we are happy to see that Sri Lankan government is very aggressively negotiating with the US counterparts to reduce that tariffs. So we are rapidly expanding our production capacities and also diversifying our product range. So that's our main export trend for the moment.
And again, I have another follow-up question. Do you also believe that this approach ensures the longevity of Laugfs, as you mentioned in multiple occasions?
Well, in addition to our conventional type of tire export, we are also heavily investing in other sectors like pharmaceutical. We are very soon commissioning one of the most state-of-art pharmaceutical manufacturing plant, that is IV saline, and we have already got inquiries from West Asian and African countries for exporting of saline. So we are adding more product for the export basket from Laugfs point of view. So we believe that we need to invest further on looking at the export market rather than totally depending on the local market.
My next question is, as a front runner in the renewable sector of the country, what are the prospective investments in the pipeline for Laugfs Power? And you can answer them with whichever you feel you can disclose.
Well, Laugfs Power is a public quoted company listed in the Colombo Stock Exchange. So my disclosures are subject to those listing rules. Well, of course, we are already in the expansion of our renewable energy portfolio, adding more solar powered projects into the stream. Plus, some of the delayed hydropower projects are being now revived. Those revenue stream will come to our group probably within this financial year or toward the beginning of the next financial year. And we are exploring other renewable energy options. Of course, we are bidding for battery storage, which has been called for expression of interest by the Sri Lankan government. Also, wind power. We have already submitted our expression of interest to set up 50 megawatt wind power in Mana. The land has been acquired. So we are very aggressively expanding, exploring opportunities in Sri Lanka as well as some other African countries to see the possibility of expanding our footprint.
And also with the mention of foreign countries, which was Africa, I would also like to ask whether Laugfs will be considering any foreign investments in the near future. Again, subjective question, but
of course, we have initial discussion with the Kenyan government to introduce vehicle emission scheme project in Kenya, because Sri Lankan vehicle emission project has been recognized as a very success story, a very success project. So as a result of that, there had been few inquiries from African and Asian countries whether we can implement the same project. So Kenya has been already gazetted the environmental rules and regulations. As part of that, we had initial discussion. We have been shortlisted to set up a vehicle emission testing project in Kenya. So we are very closely working with National Environmental Authority of Kenya and the Kenyan government. So our team is already there. They are working on that. That's one part of it. Plus, we are expanding our operations to Bangladesh. We are already in Bangladesh in the energy sector, that is LPG and lubricants. We are into Europe and other places like US. Our own companies expanding our footprint.
That's great, Dr. Wegapitiya. Now, I would like to ask you another question which set a lot of social media outlets in a frenzy over the last few months, and that is with Mr. Dhammika Pereira's acquisition of a 50% stake in Laugfs. Does this partnership ensure the inevitable longevity of Laugfs?
Of course, both myself and Mr. Dhammika Pereira are contemporaries. We both have same entrepreneurial roots. We both started as small Sri Lankan startup and grew within last 3 decades to become multinational plus very diversified conglomerate. So this is a collaboration more than an acquisition. Mr. Dhammika Pereira's business strengths and synergies, collaborating with Laugfs have a lot of strengths coming in. So we are working very closely. He is a very talented and very innovative entrepreneur, one of the rare breed of Sri Lankan entrepreneurs that I have seen. And so our innovative new approach and our presence in the energy sector and the retail sector has given lot of strengths that we can harness together. So his collaboration has given strengths both ways. So we are now slowly and gradually leveraging that opportunity to strengthen our position in multiple sectors.
And do you also believe that upcoming entrepreneurs can also learn from this partnership and also the potential knowledge both of you all hold?
The traditional Sri Lankan approach is that we always want the control. Now you cannot control anything, and most of the Sri Lankan entrepreneurs who have started on their own, they want to have 100% control or controlling position. So there is no purpose of having the control, but collaboration can make faster growth. So I think this is a classic example where two entrepreneurs can collaborate equally and faster their growth plans. So this is a good typical good example for our Sri Lankan entrepreneurs to copy.
Okay, and copy, not innovate something of their own.
Well, they can innovate. I mean, entrepreneurship. Part of entrepreneurship is innovation, and they can look at this in a more innovative and on their own. Every company has their own cultures, own way of doing a business philosophies. So you need to be aligned depending on the partners and their strengths.
And Dr. Wegapitiya, I'd like to sort of ask you a few questions regarding your personal journey that led you to building Laugfs in the first place. What has this journey been like? You mentioned you started this in 1995 previously. So up until now, over a span of 30 years, how has this journey been to you?
Well, I grew up in a very harsh rural environment where resources were very less. I was brought up in a very difficult and less resources environment. So I leveraged my thirst for learning and education to come to this level. So I used as a springboard to come to the corporate world of this country. So when I was entered to the university, I was enrolled to one of the best universities in the country and did my management degree. And then I used that knowledge and education as my first capital, and then use my social capital blended with my innovative entrepreneurial ideas to create this multiple, very complex kind of a business conglomerate. So it's a tough journey, especially becoming an entrepreneur in a country like Sri Lanka, where the external environment is highly volatile and unpredictable. Especially if you look at where we were 75 years ago. I mean, Sri Lanka was ranked number 2 next to Japan in the Global Prosperity Index in 1950 and within first 20 globally, but today we are in the 95th place, whereas the countries who are behind us like Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, you name all those countries have developed, whereas we have slowly slipped down to the 95th place from number 2 in Asia. That is because we didn't foster and develop entrepreneurship. Only the entrepreneurs can create wealth in a country, and they are the best contributors for GDP plus state income by paying tax. So that is one reason why we are still a developing nation. So this country need more and more innovative entrepreneurs to increase our GDP. Today we have just 84 billion GDP, $84 billion GDP, whereas we should be about 800 billion. So I think this country has series of events happen from 1950 to date. So becoming an entrepreneur and going through those unprecedented events and surviving is a very challenging thing. So we did that. So Sri Lankan entrepreneurs are very resilient breed. So they are more capable of withstanding those difficult times. I think the Sri Lanka need more and more entrepreneurial oriented nation to become a developed nation.
And to touch on your previous answer, Dr. Wegapitiya, is it important to cultivate a good social capital before attaining financial capital?
Well, if you really list down the prerequisites or requirement to become an entrepreneur and to start his own enterprise, capital is not number one. It's not in number two or number three. So you need to have a clear vision, a dream, and also your ability to leverage your social capital, your brand name, your portrait, your identity. And then of course your capital is required, but if you really look at most of the successful entrepreneurs, whether it is in Sri Lanka or globally, and they have started with zero capital or very, very limited capital, but they have ventured into enterprises where your financial capital is not required substantially. So they leverage some other strengths, and then when it comes to a certain level, earn the wealth and they redeploy that capital. That's how I believe. So the social capital is something that can be leveraged faster than the financial capital in realization your entrepreneurial dream to become a reality.
And Dr. Wegapitiya, I have one final question which also has a very personal note to you. You have probably been asked countless times about what lessons you could impart to the next generation. But I would like to ask you whether, or if you were given the opportunity to go back in time and advise your younger self, what would that advice be?
One could be, when someone starting an enterprise or becoming an entrepreneur, whether it is your personal life or a business life, vision cannot be shared. Most of the issues that I experience, thinking that my partners understand my vision. So vision cannot be shared, even though in management textbooks we talk about sharing vision. You can share ideas, but vision is something that is inherent to you, which cannot be explained to the others. It's like an entrepreneurial fingerprint, we call it. So my simple lesson through my hard experience and lesson learned over 30 years, you cannot share your vision with others. You need to be master of your own vision and dedicate your time on that. But expecting others to understand your vision, to be part of, whether it is your co-founder, your shareholder, is not going to happen. So that is, I indirectly answer to your question, because some of those issues and reasons are very sensitive and cannot be openly discussed.
And also, Dr. Wegapitiya, is there anything you'd like to add? Anything that you feel we might have missed?
Understanding how the Sri Lankan economy, our nation, passed through these 75 years, over 75 years, I think we have reached to one of the most conducive era. If we leverage this, looking at the socio-political and economic developments, just coming out of a very unpleasant and unprecedented economic crash, where the Sri Lankan government officially declared bankruptcy, and within a short period of time we have now regained our growth. So our duty, whether it is our policymakers, the government, or other stakeholders of the society and economy, we need to maintain this momentum for next 10 to 20 years. So very conducive when you analyze almost everything. Inflation is single digit, interest rate is almost the lowest in the recent past, GDP is growing 3 to 4%, law and order in place, the government revenue has increased, lot of positive vibes from the international trading partners and investors. All in all, we as Sri Lankans should be able to ensure that this will sustain. What happened in the past, whenever we come out of this, suddenly a structural change coming up, and then going back to the same position. So I think as members of the society and as a nation, we should ensure that this new turn should be maintained at any cost, despite our political differences, despite our various religious and other cultural differences. We as Sri Lankans should maintain this. So that's my only message to myself, to those who ruling the country and other members of the society.
Thank you for that well-rounded answer, Dr. Wegapitiya, and most importantly, thank you for your time. With that said, we come to a close of this episode. Stay tuned with us for future episodes. Thank you.